I'm not sure that should be working well now. Hi guys! Alright, let's get in the mood for this. Let's get in the mood. Let's get in the mood for this.
Hi guys, I hope you're all well and thank you for joining me in another video. I had a few questions on my Insta. Yeah people, I'm on Insta by the way, connect if you haven't already. It's mostly just pictures of me doing life with those humans I own. So come by and say hi. I have been getting a few questions on how to invest a chunk of money, say whether it's £1,000 or £100, and then building on that investment on a regular basis. Now there's a ton of videos out there already on this exact topic, so I'll try not to go over too much old ground when it comes to that. However, as you guys know, I live by that KISS mantra, and that is keep it simple. Why did I do that? So here I'm going to talk about how I would and do actually invest a sum like £1,000 or $1,000 with the clear objective to grow that pot, but also even more importantly have it noticeably grow over time, so we make investing habit forming, which I think is the most important thing. If it's a habit, then you're likely to do it again and again and you won't stress about it and the emotions won't be in it, but I'll jump into all of that in a second. Now, in investment terms, 1k is a modest amount of money. I've had people ask me, is 1k even enough to start investing? Do I need more? Do I need to save up more before I invest 1k? So the options are limited in what you can do with the 1k, but the point is you can do something. The more powerful return compounders available to hire some investors like mortgages and real estate are not viable options when you've just got 1k, obviously, unless there's somewhere that I can buy a property for 1k. Can you imagine? Where is that? Now, as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of trading on the daily myself, even though I have dabbled in it a little bit here and there. However, those type of activities don't make sense when you've got 1k either, so be careful when it comes to those kind of videos telling you can start trading with £1,000. They're redonks. One of the key characteristics I think for a 1k investment is of course making a wise investment decision based on the resource and constraints and creation of positive externalities, such as forming good investing habits, which will not only just help grow your pot but also help you grow your investment returns. What I have found is that the majority of advice is taking advantage of low comms brokers to buy stocks and shares. We have been quite lucky with the democratization of investing apps like 212, Free Trade in the UK, and Webull, M1, and of course Robinhood, which is riding its own roller coaster at the moment, in case you haven't heard of what's going on there. And they mostly encourage trading. The apps themselves do provide a free service in the hope that you switch to their fee generating products like CFDs, which by the way, for newbies, a CFD is a contract for difference offered to European traders and investors, providing an opportunity to profit from price movement without actually owning the underlying asset. So it's a relatively simple security calculated by the asset's movement between the trade entry point and the exit point, if I'm getting that right, and it computes the price change without consideration of the asset's underlying value that is achieved through a contract. That's why it's called a CFD, between the client and the broker. The point is it doesn't utilize any stock, forex, commodity or future exchanges for value anyway. You're not actually owning a stock or part of a company like you would traditionally with buying shares. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I might just do another video on CFDs at some point. Mental notebook. Right, so let's get back to it. If you are disciplined and can pick stocks well, then of course 1k can be then multiplied quicker. However, I do think, and I've said this before, the reality is the majority of us are not traders or stock pickers, nor do we have the resources to pick stocks better than the experts that do this as their day jobs. Anyone that does tell you otherwise is probably just having you on, and I'm not joking there, right? So sorry, but I do like to just say the facts. Guys, when I just said sorry, I sounded like my 2-year-old who grudgingly says sorry at the moment. Sorry is something that just does not pass the gap between her lips, honestly. Sorry. While you may not pay commissions on trades you place on the free app, you do suffer the spread, and they can be many percentage points, okay? So that's just one thing to note just there. That being said, the free trading apps I do feel have a purpose when you are not doing what they say on the tin, right? So you don't do the trading with 212 and you don't put the trade on with free trade. There was a joke in there somewhere, but I kind of lost it. By the way, the apps are good when you use investing as an objective. So what do you invest in is the question, I suppose. Well, the cheapest and the most efficient way to gain exposure to the market is to use index ETFs, okay? And even further than that, use passive index tracking ETFs. The largest and most well-known providers of these products include iShares, owned by BlackRock, Schwab is another one, and Fidelity and Vanguard are quite popular too. Being large here is your friend, as these funds are just tracking the market, so there's nothing special, so fees should be pretty minimal. And you can pick up index ETFs that track a particular index. For example, the FTSE 100 tracker for tracking the performance of the top 100 UK companies. Key spoiler alert, they haven't been doing so well right now. And the alternative is the S&P 500, the 500 largest US companies, who are doing a lot better at the moment. However, that's another point. Even having a diversified index fund may not be diversified enough. Right now, being a UK only index tracking investor right now is not as good as being a sole US index tracking investor. So if you do feel like that, and I do, that you don't want to kind of miss what's going on the other side of the pond, then there are blended index funds, and they allow you to own a little bit of each country and thereby owning the world. Just kidding. But yeah, you get what I mean, right? So that's pretty much what I do, and I like Life Strategy Funds by Vanguard for that purpose. The life funds themselves are basically a group of passive index funds. The question is, how do we turbocharge our behavior, right? Well, you'll note that there are two types of funds for each fund. One is called an income version and the other an accumulation version. So the latter means that the dividends are reinvested, putting your money back to work as you earn your share of profits on the fund itself. And the second, by having an investment in the market, you'll naturally take more notice in the economy around you, and as your investments grow, you'll want to invest even more. You'll almost get bitten by the investing bug, guys. Watching your money turn into little workers called capital is a joy to behold, okay? If you know, you know. It's never too late to start. Guys, this video isn't supposed to sort of say how to get rich quick. There aren't any crazy returns, and there's not really any trading advice here. There are channels out there that do that, and I wish them every success if you want to go watch those. However, I do feel slow and steady will guarantee you to de-risk your investment. Granted, the return you generate on 1K will be modest. However, building that consistent investing behavior, in my opinion, is worth way more than the modest returns you'll generate anyway, because this is investing over a lifetime. Finally, I do have to put a disclaimer out there, don't I? I do invest in single stocks too, but they make up a small chunk of my portfolio, and we also see it as a fun part of our investing, and I will cover that portfolio in the future. But I will say that the bulk of my equity portfolio are pretty much in diversified index funds, cheap and cheerful. So there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are. How would you spend your 1K? Let me know down there in the comments below. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. Cheers.